A very warm welcome on board to you, and thank you for joining today. Welcome on board this first edition of this series of 12 webinars about insights and energy for leaders in crisis. We're so happy you can join, and I'm very happy to see many dear clients on board, as well as new people joining in. We start our leadership today, our leadership journey today, with your holistic health, your stamina and your sharpness, because to lead well, especially in a crisis, you need to be in very great health, physical, mental and emotional, in fact. And so today we're going to offer lots of insights and tips proven on the field. And welcome on board the adventure. I'm Jean-Francois Cousin. I'm a global executive coach, and I'm a speaker and author too. And so I devised this 12 webinar series so that you as leaders can spell crisis with C for change, to rebound with inspiration and savvy, and innovation and solidarity. In fact, today we have a very packed program, and we will not go slow, which is why I asked you to buckle up. In fact, first, I will share some insights and tips that I've learned along my 12,000 hours of coaching with senior leaders and teams about how you can boost your stamina and your sharpness in crisis time. And then we'll have a very inspiring interview with a subject matter expert, Jonathan Godot, who is specialized in corporate wellness. And then Jonathan will offer us a stretching moment, physical stretch moment. And then we'll have a Q&A. So please write your questions in the Q&A box as they come to your mind, and we'll do our best to offer valuable answers. And then I'll offer you a video, very historical, that pertains to our theme today, and then there'll be a few more topics until the half hour. Now I'd like to have us all focus on you. And we're going to start with a tip, actually, and that tip, your stamina and your sharpness. So here are the two questions for you. First, how is your stamina during this crisis? You can, in the poll, choose 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. 1 is for I feel very tired as compared to before the crisis. And then 5 at the other end is I feel super energetic. And then the next question in the poll is how sharp is your mind during this crisis? You can choose from 1 to like my mind is slow and blur, to 5, my mind is super clear and fast. And here we go with the poll. We've got 20 seconds rather, to see what results come in. So please choose your answers. Thank you very much for playing the game. And here are the results. As you can see, a majority of you is swinging between feeling tired and feeling energetic. And then the second highest category about your stamina is I feel quite energetic, right? And then about your mind sharpness, then the 42% of you say my mind is quite clear and fast, good on you. And then 39% say my mind swings between blur and clear. And so now I'd love to help you, your stamina and your sharpness, one notch up. And for this, I will share with you something I learned as I've coached over 1,000 leaders over the last years, right? So all super performers. Now, there are 2 categories, and that's what's interesting, of those senior leaders who super perform with ease every day. Category 1, these ladies and gentlemen who, as you can see, do run in the morning, most of them, some in the evening, right? Now they have great sharpness and stamina all day long after they take their energy in the morning. The second category is those who meditate for 15 minutes or a bit more in the morning, and they too have super sharpness and super stamina along the day. So my question to you, of course, is if you do not run or walk or meditate a bit in the morning, can you try for 2 weeks? And then we'll talk about it, perhaps when we meet in 2 weeks' time again for the next webinar. Now, I promise it's going to be very helpful that you exercise in the morning or meditate, but it's not going to be enough in this crisis. And the reason is that there are 5 of our stamina and sharpness boosters that are under attack in this crisis. And that's something from neuroscience, right? The first of those boosters of our stamina and sharpness is status or self-esteem. The second is certainty, gaining certainty. The third one is autonomy, like freedom. The fourth one is relatedness, right? Nurturing relationship with our friends and family. And the fifth one is fairness, right? So obviously, in a crisis, we may be at risk of losing our job, and we may feel a shock to our self-esteem and, of course, our certainty, right? We also have limited autonomy. We can't travel wherever we want, for instance. We may be further remote from our friends and families and we can't see them, right? And then about fairness, of course, we did not directly do much or anything to create this mess, right? So these 5 sharpness and stamina boosters are under attack. We've got to find ideas to compensate for that. By the way, I indicated at the bottom of the slide a link to a very interesting article. So tomorrow you'll receive the slide deck of the presentation, and I invite you to read that article. It's really interesting. Now, what can we do? We have to fight 5 common derailers of stamina and sharpness. The first one is multitasking. Not a good idea. The fastest way to do several things well is to do them one after the other. Science have proven it time and again. And yet, of course, in crisis, the temptation is to go out there and extinguish many, many fires at the same time. We may have to do that, but when we don't have to, then we should not multitask. Second derailer is allowing too many interruptions in our routine. We've got to stay concentrated sometime to figure out solutions to the problems at hand. And that means telling people around us sometimes, for the next hour, please do not let anyone interrupt me. I need to focus, right? Third derailer, playing the hero, saying yes to all requests, kind of saving the world. We can't save everybody. And that is a major cause of burnout. Right, so not good. Number four derailer is seeking perfection, which is delusional in a crisis. There's no great or perfect solution to any problem in a context where there's a lot of uncertainty and fast change. And number 4, back-to-back meetings. That's exhausting, especially in video conferencing. And so my advice is try to shorten those 1-hour meetings into 45 minutes and learn to work even faster in meetings. Now, I want to offer 7 must-dos that will help a lot to boost your stamina and sharpness in crisis time. The first one is because, well, we are like a machine, right? If we overwork, we overheat, and that's not good. So the first must-do is about stopping the machine, right? Planning quiet time to stop doing and stop thinking. So we recharge our brain and our body with good energy. Number 2 is about appreciating yourself and others and celebrating what you are learning. Why? Because appreciating yourself and others actually enhance your happiness. There again, science has proven it, in fact. And then celebrate what you're learning is important because in a crisis, there are opportunities and dangers, of course. And one big opportunity is to learn and get stronger for the future after the crisis. Number 3 is offer an open mind to others so that you can collaborate in conversations and catalyze collective intelligence. You know, in a crisis, no leader is smart enough anymore to figure out alone the best way forward. But the job description of the leader, the new one, is a catalyst of collective intelligence, because collective intelligence can get us out of this crisis in a better shape. Number 4 is supporting others and forgiving. Supporting others, there again, science has shown, makes us happier and of course benefits them and us. We all fly higher after that. And forgiving, of course, is uncluttering our mind from worries. And that's good for our sharpness, right? Number 5 is breathe deeply. Each time you tackle an issue or a disappointment, just get oxygen to your brain and you'll do better. Number 6 is exercise day. You heard me say that before. I'll repeat it again because it's so very important, right? And number 7 is base your life on 3 pillars, not just 2, right? Not just work and family. Because if one of these 2 pillars is weak, then you're gonna limp, right? You need to add one more. You need to have, for example, a hobby you're passionate about. And then you'll walk on 3 legs. You'll be way more stable in terms of stamina and sharpness with kind of 3 legs than with just 2. Now, I want to add an 8th must do, and that one is just LOL, laugh out loud, right? Because of course, laughing releases a lot of great hormones for you, and that's good for your stamina and your sharpness. So now we're going to stay a bit serious, because I have the great pleasure of having Mr. Jonathan Godot on the show today, who is going to talk about how we can optimize our time to be healthy. It's a privilege to have Jonathan. He's very busy. He's a co-founder of Fitdao Corporate Wellness. Fitdao's corporate wellness programs create an organizational culture of health that enables and supports employees' well-being. Their corporate solutions cultivate healthy habits in employees, all while increasing productivity, optimizing human resource investments, and boosting employees' engagement and collaboration. So, Jonathan, a very warm welcome to the program. It is such a privilege, really, to have you here. And I understand that you work a lot on helping people optimize their time and be healthy, Jonathan. And I'd love to invite you to tell us a bit more about this.
Thank you, Jean-Francois. Hello, everyone. Yes, today my message is optimize your time, be healthy. You know that nowadays we always seek for time optimization, productivity, effectiveness. We understand this concept, we are clearly oriented to it, but we have a tendency to forget the main tool responsible of productivity and effectiveness. I'm talking here about the own self, the body, the health. Everybody has heard already about physical and psychological health, but let's give a definition of what being in a good health means. Being healthy is not only avoiding disease and illness, it's a complete state of physical, emotional, and social well-being. And I would even add financial well-being as well. It's a real holistic approach.
Interesting, Jonathan, and I am surprised you mentioned financial well-being. What do you mean?
Well, here I mean that your financial situation will have an impact of the other pillars of your well-being. Financial well-being is being able to manage a budget, resources, to make an investment, to work on insurance and healthcare plans and so on. So if this pillar of well-being is deficient, as I said, it will impact your health by, for example, generating a higher level of stress, by complicating your social well-being, as financial integration and social integration are, I would say, inseparable.
Interesting. Thanks, Jonathan. And I'd like to ask, in the first place, why be healthy?
Well, okay. Being healthy will help you through different things. First, I would say it will improve your productivity. 70% of productivity loss is health related. The second thing is that will improve the way to work on stress. That will help you to reduce stress. And healthy people are much more subject to stress. The thing is, we cannot erase stress, but you can learn to deal with it and to manage it. That will also help you to improve your skills, because if you're healthy, you will be more, I would say, capable of learning new things. Being healthy will also help you to improve your motivation, more positive thinking oriented. And that will help you also to change your mindset. It's linked with motivation. And we can say that healthy individuals have a stronger mindset, determination. And finally, I would say at a corporate level this time, that could help you to improve your leadership. Most of the time, a manager, here I'm talking about top management and middle management. Most of the time, a manager is perceived as a boss. He gives some tasks to the employees do the job and that's all. But now, if the manager is healthy himself, if he shows to his team, the employees, that he's capable of working hard and being healthy at the same time, then he becomes a source of motivation, a source of inspiration. And it's a very good way to improve your leadership.
Yeah, great. Thanks very much. Now, how to do it, Jonathan?
Okay. To answer to these different pillars, you have no choice but doing something, being active. So the first advice I would say is you have to engage yourself into a physical activity. Whatever the activity. Try to set up a routine, 1, 2, 3 times a week, okay? And try to really make it part of your schedule. Also, I would say try to be active as much as you can. Try to sit as less as you can and to work as much as possible. For example, you have many applications for that. Try to calculate the number of steps you do every day. Try to stick between 8 to 10,000 of steps every day. This is an easy goal to try to target. The second thing is pay attention of your diet and try to educate yourself about nutrition. There are so many easy things that you can implement, like, for example, avoid snacks, avoid processed food, try to avoid to eat just before bedtime, avoid too much sugar and bad quality carbohydrates and so on. It's some easy things that you can implement. Also, you have to be aware of your feelings, your emotions. And here I'm talking about psychological health, of course. You have to work on it through different exercises and practices. Like, for example, take 5 minutes just when you wake up or just before bedtime to practice some meditation, breathing techniques, and so on. That's very helpful, and that will really help you to reduce your stress level. You also have to enhance your brain capability. Your brain works better when you are physically and psychologically stronger, I would say. And finally, to be able to do all of this in a sustainable way, you have to set up habits, a routine. Otherwise, it will be short-term oriented.
Thank you very much, Jonathan. I wish we had more time for this conversation, but we learned so much from you. Thanks for the insightful tips and the advice. And also, Jonathan, much gratitude for offering us 12 exercises. We're just going to see one right now. You've prepared for each and every one of the 12 webinars we've lined up all the way to December, in fact. And the first one you chose today is to help us fight the office syndrome, which is that pain or soreness that can be caused by sitting for a long time in a chair, right, or in a bad position. And over time, our muscles become contracted and painful. And so, thanks, Jonathan. I'm going to play the exercise you've recorded just for us. And then we'll go into Q&A. And I invite everyone to write in the Q&A box the questions that come on your mind. Here we go. with our stretching moment.
Hello everyone, welcome for the first of a series of videos related to the concept of office syndrome. Nowadays, as we spend most of our time sitting in front of a laptop, we will experiment sooner or later some pain, soreness, especially located in the upper back, neck and shoulders. To avoid that, I will present you different exercises to limit the negative impact of office syndrome. Let's go right now for the first exercise. We will intend to release the pressure we accumulate by sitting all day in our spinal column. So we're gonna go for a simple exercise. You just gonna bring your fist right here on your lower back, okay? And then you're gonna try to lean backward. And you're gonna try to breathe as deep as you can, like that. Okay, you go for 5 repetitions, and then you're gonna bend forwards now, and you're gonna do the same exercise. You're gonna breathe as deep as you can, like that. And come back slowly. So you see, 5 seconds on this position, and then 5 seconds on this position. All right? Try to do it regularly during the day to release the pressure that you accumulate on your spinal column by sitting all day in front of your laptop. Wow. I hope you enjoyed this first exercise, and see you for the second one in the following video.
Thanks everyone for your questions. We're spoiled, and I invite Teddy Hugh. He's managing our program from behind the scene to share about the questions that have come up. So Teddy, what's up?
Thank you, Jean-Francois. The first question we have is for Jonathan. Jonathan, you said that being healthy is very important, but being healthy is something hard. We don't have much time, so how do we make it happen, Jonathan?
Okay, here comes the question of responsibility. You know, as an individual, you have to be conscious of your state of health. I would say don't lie to yourself when it comes to the question of, do I have a healthy lifestyle? Now, I understand that it can be difficult. It's pretty hard to have a strong mindset and to have the discipline to stick to a routine and so on. So actually, my 2 advices would be, first, if you really cannot do it on your own, get some help from professionals. And second is try to find a source of motivation. So, for example, team up with a friend. This is the real key point. If you want to make it sustainable, you have to find the motivation.
Very insightful. Thank you, Jonathan. Another question. You talked about building the right mindset. How do you define the right mindset?
Okay. Well, in this case, I would associate the mindset to the concept of discipline. Discipline is the key to all success. It's a critical component to get things done, and getting things done in a systematic way. You have to build up the character in you that will be able to get things done. This is what we call self-discipline. And the funny thing is, you know, we think discipline means punishment, but discipline is you stop immediate pleasure for the exchange of a long-term self-respect and satisfaction. So yes, discipline is painful, but what do you prefer, the pain of discipline or the pain of regrets? And I would say, 99% of people are not willing to do what it takes to make their dreams come true. So be this 1% and be disciplined.
Thank you, Jonathan. The third question we have is for Jean-Francois. Jean-Francois, what are the main causes of burnout for leaders?
Three comes to mind. Two I just mentioned, actually. One is a hero syndrome. You remember, like out there to save the world and just depleting their resources and burning out eventually, right? So don't do that. And the second one would be, I think, self-neglect, right? Neglecting to manage your health, right? Your stamina, your sharpness, and we are all about that today. And perhaps the third one would be that case where the company is unfair to a particular leader. That's very difficult to resist, right? However, the leader will be better equipped to resist and right the wrong in the situation if he or she has taken good care of his or her stamina and sharpness, right? And Teddy, I also noticed two other questions. One from Tom, which is, what is the best way to say no to any unreasonable demand? So I would suggest when you say no, you say something like, I wish I would help. I wish I could help. This is really important for you. And I am so sorry that I cannot do that because of my priorities and my urgencies, right? And if people try and drag you on, you just go into a loop and say again, I know this is important. I'd really like to help, and I'm so sorry that my priorities and my urgencies do not allow me to have the time for this, right? And the second question, also I just had a look at from Dominic, was, can spirituality and charity help to balance the mind? And that's a big yes, Dominic. And that's what I mentioned when I gave must-dos. In fact, I think number one was help others. And that has been shown to make the giver or the supporter even happier than the one who receives the help or the gift. In fact, thanks for bringing this, Dominic. And thanks also, Tom, for your questions. Now, we wish we had more time, but we promised you a short format. So this is when I'm going to say a huge thank you for Jonathan. You brought us so much value in such a short time. It's a real privilege to have you on the show, Jonathan. So all the best to you, and thanks again for being generous with your time. And everyone, tomorrow you'll have one email from Jonathan, so you can stay in touch with him. And if you have any more questions to him, because we have such a short time, then you can email them to Jonathan. Thanks for accepting that, Jonathan. Thanks again. And in our 5 minutes, we're gonna go very, very high speed because we've got a few exciting things to cover. And the first one is actually a historical video from Stephen Covey. Much gratitude and respect to him for what he contributed with the 7th Habit of Highly Effective People. I would like you to watch a video without further ado. And here we go. So the main message of the video is, of course, and you got that right, to book and protect time for what matters most, right? And here I want to be very concrete with you. It's a topic we work often with CEOs in coaching, right? They come, some of them are overwhelmed with the level of responsibilities and stress. And so I ask them, hey, what are your top 5 priorities over the next few months, right? And I ask them to take 2 minutes to reflect before they answer me. And then they get it right. The first priority you can guess is my health, of course. It's about survival, right? First, yeah. Second priority will be my family. And that makes sense, right? Because after retirement, we're left with our loved ones. And if we don't really know them, it can be embarrassing, right? And then the next 3 priorities will be about work, right? So here's a very concrete example, a real one. Taking care of one's health. So CEO said, okay, I need to do a 1-hour tennis every Tuesday. And also I want to do sport at the weekends with my kids and go on a family trek every month, right? I need business-wise to reconnect with my customers, and I'll plan 2 days every 2 weeks to visit them. And then I'll also allocate 1 day every 2 weeks to manage this new brand project that's critically important. And then, of course, I'll make time for people development strategy and a bit of reporting. And then, so that person has entered in his or her calendar all of this, right? And then life messed the program, right? However, when something was not possible, then the CEO had to reschedule that time he had committed to another day or another week. And at the end of the 3 months, he or she had really invested 10 days for customer visits, 4 weekends in Trek and all that. So my invitation to you is protect your time for what matters most. Go out of this webinar and look at your priorities and make some time in your calendar so the day-to-day nitty-gritty is not eating the time you need to invest in what matters most. Now, very quickly, 3 breaking news about my little business. I am starting my the third edition of my masterclass, Coaching Skills for Leaders in Crisis Time. You still can join. There are many great leaders around the world already in the program, and you can click to know more. Second breaking news is a success. I'm really happy about it's a Facebook live session that got more than 4,200 views as we speak, and it's about coaching in chaos. So for those who want to hone their skills, when you receive the slide deck tomorrow, you can just click on the picture and you'll be taken to the video. And then just this week on Monday, I was happy to see an article of mine in Forbes magazine. There again, you can click on the picture in the slide deck and read it. It's about catalyzing collective intelligence with 5 practices for crisis time. Now, I'd love to offer 4 e-gifts for you. They are 4 articles that pertain to sharpness and stamina. The first one, top left, is 5 healthy practices for your emotional well-being. Click on the picture, you'll get the article. Second one is about 7 enjoyable practices to enhance your self-esteem, which is so important, a booster of stamina, right? And then 2 articles from Harvard Business Review I selected for you. One is about what meditation can do to your leadership, and the other one is about resilience and how it's not so much about how you endure, but a lot more about how you recharge, right? And then with this, I'd love to invite you to hire an accountability partner, a friend, a colleague, with whatever commitment you're going to make after this session, so you can keep the good intention you have going and make a great difference in your life and then in your leadership. One more thing before we go is 3 quotes that I'd love perhaps to offer to your reflection. And just before the quotes, please, if you have any challenge that you would like us to talk about in this program, just let us know in the Q&A box or by email anytime. We'll do our very best to honor whatever needs you have in terms of developing your leadership. What's up next? In 2 weeks' time, same place, same time, we'll have the first of the 11 webinars that are absolutely on leadership in crisis time, right? We needed to recharge your stamina and your sharpness before we get started with leadership. next, so Wednesday on the 30th of July, I have the privilege of having an extraordinary leader from India who's done an amazing job as a leader in a very complex and difficult context out there through the COVID crisis. He'll be there and he'll be giving us some insights about how he could make the best of the difficult situation. And I'll also share some insights and tips I've learned from the fantastic clients I've been honored to serve, in fact, right? And then on that slide, you can click on the links to the right to register to the next 11 webinars about leadership. With this, I hope we can also stay in contact and do join me on social media where I share more than I can in 30 minutes, right? And then with this, I want to thank again Jonathan for being such a fantastic guest and for his insights. And I want to thank all of you for taking your precious time to join today. I know quite many of you have attended this webinar as a team. And tomorrow we'll send you the slide deck and also access to the video so you can play it with the team again if you want, and then discuss together as a team what is it that we've learned that we can implement that's of value, and what can we decide together as a team to take our stamina and sharpness to the next level to implement, right? And then with this, I wish you all the very best. Stay safe, continue to unleash your greatness, and I look forward to our next session on the 30th of July. Thanks again. Do take care.